I am Dipesh Ranjan Sahu, your today's instructor. Okay. I am educator at Skyrider Institutions and a product developer at Vikas Technologies. I will be taking this session. Okay. So we'll be discussing about EV market of India and building career for your EV industries. Okay. So I think I am audible to all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
Okay. So let us start. So first will be, so this is the webinar flow. First, we'll be learning about the objectives of this webinar, importance of EV and future of ICE vehicle. Then we'll be going for EV startups in India and globally, and infrastructures to sustain the EV, growth of EV market in India, means how the EV is getting assimilated in India, or how India is means getting or suiting itself so that it can well accept the EV infrastructures. Okay, career opportunities in EV industries, and what you should learn or what you should start to learn in order to get an entry in any EV industry. Okay. So after that, why is electrification so important? So you can say that before talking for any, or you can say before talking on any EV market or anything, first we should know that whether electrification is needed or not. Okay, because everyone is talking about electric vehicles, sir. Yes, sir. Electric vehicle is the future. Electric two-wheelers, electric four-wheelers, electric commercial vehicles, they're all the future. But do we means actually they are the future or not? We have to decide now. It means why is electrification so important? Why we are talking about the future that is electric? Okay. So the first point is transport is third in majority of CO2 production in India. You can see this graph. This graph is showing that transport. Okay, your transport is contributing nearly 13% of the. You can see your transport is contributing nearly 13% of the CO2 emission in India. Industries including auto products. Auto products also contribute to the transport. Okay, you can say that you cannot only contribute means if I'll be saying about transport, these are your exhaust pipe emissions. Okay, 13% is due to exhaust pipe emissions. That means all the emissions from your exhaust pipes, and 34% is means it is the total contribution of all the industries that are producing your auto products. Okay, so it means if you will be knowing, means you must be knowing that it is above 30%. Okay, the total percentage in which the CO2 is being produced by your electric vehicle is more than 30%, because 30% is your tailpipe emission and nearly 34% is from auto producers. So you can say that your EV industry generally produce a lot of greenhouse gas, or GHG. We call that as GHG emission. That is your greenhouse gas emission. Second one is, you can say in 2015 to 2018, emission from transport increased. Okay, you can see that from 2015 to 2018, actually there is a rapid increase in CO2 emission. This is because of your Ola and Uber cars. Okay, because it means even if you are not you are not owning a car, still you are using Ola and Uber. Okay, that is the reason why there is an increase in CO2 emissions. Hence, Ola and Uber are the first to be electrified. Okay, Ola and Uber, all your transportation vehicles are first to be electrified. Means passenger transportation vehicles are first to be electrified. Okay, because they are one of the major source of product, you can say CO2 production. So Ola and Uber, because before that, what was there? Those means those families, they are owning a car. They were only contributing to the pollution. Car or bike, anything. Okay, car or bike, anything. They are contributing to the pollution. Now, even if I do not have a car, means I am a young student, I do not have a car, I am using Ola and Uber. Okay, hence you can say from 2015 to 18, there is an increase in CO2 production by all these passenger cars. Car makers have mandated average target of CO2 across their fleets with an industry average of 95 gram per kilometer. Fines will be imposed should individual targets be breached. So these are the things why we need electrification. Electrification, CO2 is the major cause. Okay, or you can say greenhouse gas is the major cause for your electrification, because most of the passenger cars, they, or you can say they perform inside the urban areas, or they run inside urban areas. Hence, urban areas are getting more polluted. Hence, the first target is to convert all the, you can say, vehicles in urban areas to electric vehicles, so that there will be you can say tailpipe emissions. There will be a reduction in tailpipe emissions. Electric drive technology is the most advanced zero emission option. This is the most advanced because you can say transportation is nearly means if I will be going for calculating in a single day. Okay, in a single day, you actually contribute to nearly, you can say 20 to 30% to transportation. Okay, 20 to 30% to transportation. Hence, you can say the most advanced zero emission option is converting all the ICE vehicles to electric vehicles. Then future of ICE vehicle. We have seen that why do we need electrification? These are some of the CO2 gas is one of the major cause why we need to go for electrification. Okay, because all the industries, all the manufacturers, they produce these greenhouse gases, and greenhouse gases are causing climate change. Okay, and hence we need electric drives. We will also be seeing why means how electric drives are beneficial. We all will also be seeing that means we can say a single connectivity. We'll be getting a single connectivity. Okay, we will be getting what autonomous vehicles. You can say electric vehicles are the steps towards autonomous vehicles. Okay, electric vehicles are the step towards autonomous vehicles. In traffic, your IC vehicle, they produce a lot of you can say greenhouse gases in traffic, but your electric vehicle, it is not producing a lot of greenhouse gases in traffic because it can it means it is not using any kind of IC engine. Okay, to run your ACs, to run your audios, to run your, you can say security also. It is not using any kind of what fuel, means power from fuel, or you can say it is not using any kind of engine. Hence, at traffic also it is silent, and you can say that traffic areas. You can say in cities, the traffic areas are the most polluted areas. So if you will be converting all your vehicles to electric vehicles, your traffic areas will be means it will become less polluted. So this is the reason why electrification is so important. So future of ICU. Many consultancies continue to report that the internal combustion vehicle isn't going out completely anytime soon. Remember, IC engine vehicles are not getting replaced soon. Okay, though there is a need of electric vehicles, but IC engine vehicles are not getting replaced. Remember, because your companies are trying to have better, you can say that they are trying to have better efficient engines, like your BS4 is going on, BS5 is there, BS6 will there, BS7 there. They are trying for efficient engines. Okay, and also other alternative fuels. Remember, CO2 is must. Any fuel you use, CO2 is the must. Okay, CO2 and H2O. That you can say some other pollutants we may get, but CO2 and H2O is the must for all the fuels that we will be using. Hence, they are going for some efficient use of fuels. Means they will be absorbing your catalytic converters will be absorbing CO2, and then that CO2 will be converted to some other forms like diamond or graphene or some other things. Okay. So clean combustion engine in the future preferably driven by a certain share of renewable fuels. Even by 2030, 4 in every 5 new light vehicle sales will still rely on IC engine in some form, meaning development in combustion engine will be pivotal in the decarbonization strategy of automakers. Remember, commercial vehicles are not being replaced with battery, because you can say PHEV, that is a plug-in hybrid vehicles. Okay, you can say the commercial vehicles means your truck, bus, either they will be going for hydrogen cells or they will be going for your some other biofuels, or means biofuels means same IC, internal combustion engines. Okay, but they will not be replaced with electric vehicles in near future. Near future means 2030 to 2040. Okay, in 2040, you can say in this graph, in 2040, your internal combustion engine will go down. Okay, it will go down by 2040. It will be reaching nearly 40%, and 60% will be a electric vehicle. And fuel cells are for commercial vehicles. Okay, fuel cells are for commercial vehicles. So until 2040, internal combustion engine will be, you can say it is in a slow decline. Okay, this is a slow decline because of, you can say the number of years it is taking, and on the electric vehicles also in you can say steep, you can say slow increment. Until 240, you can say internal combustion engine will be 60%, and you can say your IC engines, your electric vehicles will be 60%, and your IC engines will be 40%. So let us talk about different EV startups. We know that future of IC vehicles means IC vehicles are they still have some future, not some future, but means a lot of future. IC vehicles have a lot of future. They are not means in this 2040, in this 2040, the IC vehicles will be means it will be in stagnant. Okay, because you cannot replace all the IC vehicles, because that will be what means after replacing, if you will be replacing all the IC vehicles with all the electric vehicles, remember there will be still some CO2 emission. Okay, there will be still some CO2 emissions because your electric vehicles needs lithium, and lithium needs mining. Okay, most of the metals need mining. Okay, but lithium needs mining, and your some of the means you can say heavy elements like your you can say platinum also, and some of means what some of the heavy elements that are also used in your electric vehicles, they need mining, and mining means there will be a lot of CO2 emission. Hence, there should be a balance between your internal combustion engine and your electric engines. Sorry, you can say means not electric engines, electric vehicles. So let us talk about some EV startups in India. So first one is your Ola Electric. Then Ola Electric is a successful startup. You can say the fund that it has taken up is 250 million. Ola Electric Mobility. Then your Ether Energy, Smart E, Yulu Bikes. These are some of the startups. Okay, I'll be showing you some of the uh, startups that have been successfully completed. You can say that they have mm, means what they have successfully raised a lot of fundings, and they have means they are at their production stage. Okay, they are at their production stage. These are all the startups. Okay, they are, some of them are in design stage, some of them are in production stage, some of them are in fund gathering stage. Okay, but I'll be showing you some startups that they have gathered the funds and they are in their designing stage, like your Ether Energy. Okay, Ether Energy is a EV based you can say EV startup based out of Bangalore, founded by IIT Madras students. It has been backed by Hero Motors and Sachin Bansal, the founder of Flipkart. You can say Ether Energy has raised a you can say funding of $35 million. Okay, by Sachin Bansal. Ether Energy is a, you can say all means they are in production stage. Okay, they are in production stage. These vehicles are in production stage. After 1 year or 2 years, you will be seeing these vehicles on the road. Same as Yulu also. Yulu is also in production stage. And production what? They are selling actually. Yulu is selling bikes and even these EV bikes. And it is backed by Bajaj. And it has also raised a funding of nearly $8 million. Okay. In backed by Bajaj Auto. Another one is your Ampere vehicle. Okay. Ampere is a actually Ampere has started during 2006 2004. Okay. It means I have heard about Ampere Motors during 2004, 5, and means some means it means some of the electric vehicles that belongs to Ampere, they are from 2006 2007, and we can say Ampere vehicle is actually a means it is an older startup. Okay, it is not a startup, it is an older startup, but it is not means it has not captured the market. Okay, it has not captured the market enough. Okay, means it is still in its startup phase. Though Ampere Motors, Ampere produces your batteries, Ampere produces some of the electronic components. Ampere has a lot, you can say in electric vehicle it has it do not has any means what big markets here. Okay, but in batteries, in electric components, it has a good you can say market for. Okay, Ampere vehicles are at startup. EV startup based out of Tamil Nadu. It has been backed by Ratan Tata, Exxon Partners Group, is Gopal Krishna, and Inu Ventures. Okay. After that, we have Ultra Violet Automotive. They are backed by TVS Motors. There, you can say they are preparing your bikes. Okay, they are preparing your bikes. Remember, in electric vehicle category, first you can say nearly 21. Let me just show you that chart if I have. Okay, I'll be showing you the chart. Remember, two-wheelers demand is more than four-wheelers. In electric vehicle market, two-wheelers demand is more than we can say four-wheeler, because four-wheelers remember during electrification of India, first two-wheelers will be capturing most of the market, then four-wheelers will be captured. Okay, in you can say during the electrification period of India from 2025 to 2030. Okay, you can say most of the manufacturer will be selling two-wheeler vehicles, and four-wheeler vehicles will be sold, but not in you can say large quantity. Two-wheelers will be sold in larger quantity. Okay, hence you are seeing most of the companies are funding for two-wheeler vehicles. and no one actually, one or two, three startups are there. Okay, they are going for four-wheelers, but let's see about their funding. So Ultraviolet Automotive has raised rupees 30 crores investment from TVS Motors for its production lineup. Okay, then we have, sorry, this is not ultraviolet. Okay, sorry, this is not ultraviolet. This is your pure EV. Okay, this is not ultraviolet. This is your pure EV. It is also a Telangana-based startup backed by VC Nanna Pine. Okay. It is also means IIT Hyderabad incubator startup Pure EV raises undisclosed funding. It has also raised funding nearly 20 to 30 million dollars. Okay, to means line up its production. You can say to line up its production unit. Okay, this is not ultraviolet. Okay, automotive. This is Pure EV. Okay, this is Pure EV. The company name is Pure EV. Okay, then we have Torque Motors. Torque Motors is a Mumbai-based startup. Okay, Torque Motors is a Mumbai-based startup by Ankit Bhatia, Bharat Forge, and Bhavesh Agarwal. It is backed by Ratan Tata. Okay, you can say this. What I am showing you is I am showing you about successful startups. Okay, and still there are a lot of opportunities for other startups also. Remember, Indian market. I have shown you only two to three. You can say here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Startups are producing your EV vehicles. But you remember the demand means the EV vehicle demand is so much that even if you will be going for some 10 to 12 means some more 5 to 6 startups also, they will be still able to sell a lot of electric vehicles in the market. Okay, you can say demand is so much. The demand of electric vehicles means means it is rising actually. It is not in stagnation. It is rising. Okay, so you can say the demand of electric vehicle is actually rising. Okay. So after that, Ola Electric, yes, Ola Electric also backed by Ratan Tata, Matrix Partners, India, SoftBank, Tiger Global. It has raised nearly 13, you can say $300 million. Then after that, we have some global EV startups. Okay, like Next EV, NIU. We have some global EV startups. Means these startups will be investing in India. Means they will be coming to India, and you will be seeing these vehicles. These are USA-based startups, China-based startups, and some of your you can say your German-based startups, Phil Japan, and I'm not able to see this one. Okay, Panasonic. It means these startups you will be seeing. Okay, means there is some future. Means if you will be tying up with these startups, then you may get your vehicle launched or you may get your design launched along with them or any such thing. If you want to tie up, there is means the Indian government will means or some of the electric vehicles. You can say your bigger electric companies, they will be tying up with these vehicles so that you will be seeing these vehicles in Indian market also. Your Terra Motors, Tesla is coming to India also. Okay, so these are some of the global EV startups. We have seen some of the Indian startups and some of the global EV startups. So in here also, you see, you can also see your career in these startups also. Okay, you can also see your career not only in Indian startups. You will be seeing your career, but you can also go for this means you can also work in these industries. In you can see in Tesla Industries, in Terra Motors, in your Gogolo or something Google. Okay, or Next EV, then Smith. You can work in these industries or you can try for these industries also. Okay, so now let us know the current startup. You can status of EV in India. Okay. What is the current status of EV in India? What is means what is the Indian market? I can say what is the market of India for means how is the Indian market arranged for startups or you can say for EV startups or any EV tie-ups or means any means foreign tie-ups means how is India what means designing itself or how is India acquainting itself for all these startups. Transportation is third majority of yes, is the third majority of CO2 production as we have discussed. The Indian electric market is very nascent stage, comprising of only 1% of the total automobile sales. 95% of Indian EV market is dominated by two-wheelers and three-wheelers. Okay, 95% of Indian EV market is dominated by two and three-wheelers. The EV market in India was about 25,000 units at the end of 2016 to 17 and 56,000 units at the end of 2017 to 18. EV market in India, you can see how it is rising. Now, the EV market is not rising steeply because of COVID cases. Okay, we'll be discussing about those things also. But during, you can say pre-COVID, during pre-COVID, you can say the electric market has rose from 25,000 units to 56,000 units. Okay, nearly double. So you can see if in this rate it will be increasing, then it will be an exponential increase. Remember. Okay, hence in 4 to 5 years, you will be seeing a demand of nearly 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs. 4,300 EVs were sold at Gujarat, 2,000 at West Bengal, 2,800 at West Bengal, 2,400 Uttar Pradesh, and 2,388 in Rajasthan during the fiscal year of 2016 to 17. The EV market in India is set to see the entry of flurry of new players of foreign and domestic origin in the, you can say, two-wheeler and three-wheeler segments. You will be seeing like your some of the foreign, you can say, foreign two-wheelers and three-wheelers EV makers also, they also will be entering India. Okay, they have actually their tie-ups may be going on. I have no information on that, but during, you can say, the period of 2022 to 2025, you will be seeing a lot of like this, you can say, tie-ups like this. Means the foreign countries will be investing in India, or you can say they will be investing on the electric infrastructure of India. Chinese firms such as Bai Auto will supply electric buses to some of the state transport firms. Mahindra has a first to the market advantage of four-wheeler segment. The company plans to make nearly 60,000 electric vehicles annually from 2020. Okay, you can see the company plans to make nearly 60,000 electric vehicles annually from 2020. Mahindra only will be, you can say, manufacturing 60,000 electric vehicles. The Indian unit of South Korea's Hyundai Motor India Limited is expected to launch its electric vehicle in 2019. Okay, means it has already launched. It is not expected. It has already launched in 2019. Maruti Suzuki will enter the market by 2020. It has entered. Tata Motor has launched this electric vehicle, Tata Tigor, in 2018. Tata Tigor, we have seen actually this Tata Tigor. It is launched in, actually Tata Tigor was launched in 2018. I think the electric version of Tata Tigor is launched in 2019 or 20. Okay, the electric version of Tata Tigor, you can say that Tata Tigor was launched in 2018. Okay, but the electric version of Tata Tigor was launched in 2019 or 20. Okay. So what is the EV market and challenges? Just a minute, let me just a minute. Okay, EV market and challenges. So I think it is gone. Yes. So EV market and challenges. So global heavy electric vehicle, or you can say hybrid, sorry, not heavy, hybrid electric vehicle and electric vehicle. Hybrid electric vehicles, they will be using IC engines. Okay. They will be using IC engines. So the first one is your hybrid electric vehicles. Case for change, why alternative powertrains, why XEVs, global demands and policies, demand for, you can say, extreme EVs, policy levels, global technology evolution, ICE start stop. These are some of the vehicle category actually. These are some of the vehicle category. Okay, if you have gone for some, if you have some information on electric vehicle, these are your XEVs, are your, you can say they are the category. Okay, these categories are available in our, you can say these categories should be available in a EV market. Okay, after these are the products. After that, extensive primary research across industry, government, consumers, interviews, qualitative, okay, and quantitative surveys. After that, these are the products. Then for, you can say, surveys, consumer acceptability, the detailed consumer research insights, production capability. These are the EV market. See what I am saying. These are the EV market and challenges. These are the challenges that they will be facing. So in customer acceptability, detailed customer research insights, they are the challenges. When you will be entering an EV market, you will be facing these challenges. Okay, and this is the EV market, and these are the challenges. So scale effects, technology considered, then price performance evolution, battery price evolution, performance evolution. We'll be discussing all this. We'll be discussing all this in later, we can say, presentation. Technology capability, importance of technologies of India, India's right to win, infrastructure requirement, power, and charging terminals. These are the challenges that India will be facing. Then what are the recommendations, policies, framework to unlock the extreme EV potential? We'll be talking about different policies of India. Okay, your national mobility mission scheme will be discussing. We'll be discussing some of the other schemes also that will be helping in electrifying India. Okay, then how it will be creating some jobs also. We'll be discussing about those things. Okay, so policy framework, demand, incentives, supply, incentives, R&D, and infrastructure. Okay, cost, benefits analysis and challenges, net present value, fuel saving, investments. See, these are the challenges, okay, that they will be facing. First, these are the products, okay, these are the challenges, and what are the recommendations? What are the recommendations? Recommended interventions. Net benefit from extreme EVs, fuel security, carbon dioxide emissions, job creation. Okay, these are the recommended interventions. The interventions are done by government or bodies or some private bodies. Okay, these are interventions are done in order to what? Facilitate working of a scheme. Okay, if you have a government scheme, then there will be some interventions by the government, so that the scheme will be well facilitated by, you can say, by all the organizations. So these are your EV market and challenges. We'll be discussing these things. Okay, we'll be discussing these things step by step. Okay. So first one is we'll be discussing about different government initiatives. First, what are the products? See, global EV, you can say, and HEV and EV market, we have seen case for changes. Why alternative powertrains? Why extreme EVs? These are the, remember, these are the means products, global demands and policies, demands for electric vehicles, policy levers, global technology evolutions, essentially IC start and stop vehicles, you can say XEV battery operated vehicles, motor, you can say battery, motor, etc. Okay, battery and motor operated vehicles. Then what are the challenges? Challenges are these are detailed consumer research insights, production capability, scale effects, then price performance evolution, battery price evolution, performance evolution, technology capability, importance of technologies for India. Okay, India's right to win. These are the challenges that they will be facing. And how to, you can say, what are the interventions in order to facilitate these challenges? You can say this facilitate the schemes that are required to tackle these challenges. Then demand incentives. Okay, means if there is a demand, then there should be some incentives in those demands. Okay, supply incentives, R&D, infrastructures, cost benefit analysis and challenges, net present value, fuel savings, investments. Okay, net way, you can say net benefits from, you can see your extreme EVs, fuel security, carbon dioxide emission, and job. So first, let us talk about some government initiatives. In 2012, the National Electric Mobility Mission Plan was established to promote hybrid and electric vehicles. Under the, you can say, National Electric Mobility Plan 2020, an incentive scheme, faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid electric vehicles was adopted. You can say FAME phase 1 and phase 2 was launched in 2015 to reduce the upfront purchase of hybrid and electric vehicles and to simulate their early adoption. Okay, we'll be learning about this FAME phase 1 and phase 2. But these are some of the government initiatives taken in order to facilitate the electrification of India. Okay. In early 2018, the Ministry of Power launched a new National Electric Mobility Program to focus on creating the charging infrastructure and a policy framework to set a target of more than 30% electric vehicles by 2030. Okay. 30% means nearly 10 million electric vehicles in by 2030. The program will be implemented by Energy Efficiency Service Limited, EESL, which will aggregate demand by procuring electric vehicles in bulk to get economics of sale. Okay, means they will be facilitating so that a lot of we can say electric vehicles will be manufactured, so that when the manufacturing is in block, then the economic chain can be properly set up. Remember, if the manufacturing is in block, then the chain can be properly set up. Chain means, remember, it means you need, for manufacturing, you need raw materials, you need energy, you need labor, employment, you need place or infrastructure. So all these things are your chain. Okay. So if you will be going for bulk manufacturing, then you can say you can very confidently means place this change properly, means proper, you can say where the means where the infrastructure needs to be placed, or where the infrastructure needs to be created. Infrastructure means your what your production unit, okay, and from where the people should be employed, or you can say from where the people should be interviewed and taken for the employment, and from where the material should be procured. So you can say that they help in these things. They aggregate demand by procuring electric vehicle in bulk, and thereby they create the supply chain also. Okay, supply chain, and also your lot of things are created. Will be discussed. Ministry of Power has notified the charging infrastructure for electric vehicle guidance and standard on 14 December 2008. Special incentives for indigenous OEM and electric EV manufacturers were announced on the same. Many state governments like Delhi, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu have announced state policies for adoption of EV. Yes, all the states are also providing some incentives so that there will be faster adoption of EV in those states. Then National Electric Mobility Mission. What is NEEMP 2020? Government of India launched the National Electric Mobility Mission Plan NEMMP 2020 in 2013. Okay, target was till 2020. Hence it is 2020. It aims to achieve national fuel security, okay, by promoting hybrid and electric vehicles in country. There is an ambitious target to achieve nearly 6 to 7 million sales of hybrid electric vehicle years on years from 2020 onwards. Okay. Government aims to provide fiscal and monetary incentives to kickstart this nascent technology with the support from the government, and the cumulative sale is expected to reach nearly 15 to 16 millions of EVs by 2030. Okay. It is expected to save nearly 9,500 million liters of crude oil, equivalent to 62,000 crores. Government has launched the scheme, namely faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid electric vehicles, FAME India. See, all those who are raising hand, they just means you just keep your question. After completion of this webinar, you will be asking the question and I will be giving you the answers. Okay, because the webinar is short period, hence I have to cover a lot of topics in this short period. So I will be answering all your questions. Okay, don't worry. Write down all your questions, or you can say note down all your questions. After the end of the webinar, we will be having time for those things. Okay, then scheme, namely faster adoptions and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicles, FAME India under NEMMP 2020 in the Union budget for 2015 with initially outlay of 75 crores. Okay, it envisioned that early market creation through demand incentives, in-house technology development, and domestic production will help industry reach its self-sufficient economic of sale in a long run by around 2020. Okay, in-house development. Remember, India is trying to do all the, you can say, all the developments in battery development, power electronics development. You can see your charging infrastructure. All should be done by using in-house technology. In-house means all the skills are from India. All the, you can say, your means what raw materials, your development ecosystem should belong to India. Okay, none should belong to any foreign country. That is the main target. So you can say National Electric Mobility Mission. One of the main target, not the main target, one of the main target. After that, what we have, the ministries involved in your National Mobility Mission Plan. That is your Ministry of Heavy Industries and Public Enterprises, Ministry of Power and Renewable Energies, Ministry of Urban Development, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Roads and National Highways, Department of Science and Technologies. Okay, these are the ministries. And see, each and individual ministries have their own schemes for electric vehicles. See, if you want to go for an electric vehicle startup, or if you want to, if you are working in any company and you want to, you want to understand some of the schemes of electric vehicles. So you can visit these, you can say ministries, or you can say they have their separate websites. You can visit these websites and you will be getting the schemes that are available in these websites. Okay, that is in this website, in this government websites. If you are working in a company, or if you are going for any electric startup, you should be using the schemes that are provided by India. They will be helping you. Okay, they will be helping you in order to provide fund, in order to provide infrastructure, all the things that are required for electric vehicle. Then FAME India. What is FAME India? See, FAME India is, we'll be talking about only FAME 1. We'll not be talking about FAME 2. FAME 2 generally starts from your 2022 or something like that. Okay. Sorry, it has started from 2019. Sorry. It has started from 2019 and it will be completed in 2020. We'll not be talking about phase 2. Rather, we'll be mostly talking about phase 1. Because in phase 2, actually, COVID is there. Okay, hence the data that we have got is not that correct. Hence, phase 1 data is good. The FAME India Faster Adoption and Manufacture of Hybrid Electric Vehicle Scheme is an incentive scheme promotion of electric and hybrid vehicles in the country. Ultimate objective of the scheme is to promote electric mobility, and scheme gives financial incentives for enhancing electric vehicle production and creation of electric transportation infrastructure. FAME was launched by Ministry of Heavy Industries and Public Entrepreneurs in 2015 to incentivize the production and promotion of eco-friendly vehicles, including electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles. Then phase 1, actually it was started from 2015 and it was completed in 2019. See, FAME India is nothing but FAME India helps in faster adoption. You can say it provides incentives on batteries, it provides incentives on some manufacturing, some manufacturing some things. Okay, means if you are manufacturing electric vehicle in bulk, then it will be providing you incentives on some parts and products, okay, of your electric vehicle. FAME is faster adoption and manufacture, means for means the manufacturers in India, if they means with least amount of resistance, they can go for manufacturing the electric vehicle. Hence, FAME India was introduced by government in, you can see, in 2015. Okay, and it was completed in 2019. So let us see some of the results of FAME. Okay, these are the results of FAME. You can say that charging infrastructure, it has helped for nearly 10% of the charging infrastructure. Okay, it has helped nearly, you can say, 59% in demand incentives. Your FAME has, you can say, these are the fundings of your FAME, or you can say funds allocated by FAME. 59% of the, you can say FAME fundings was for demand incentives, like your, you can say product demands, means your battery demand, your charger demand, your, you can say your any of your battery, you can say body covering demands. Those demand incentives, you can say they are covering nearly 59% of FAME funding. Technology platform, develop, in order to develop a technology platform for your EV market, FAME is also providing incentives for those things. Then pilot projects. Pilot project means in order to check whether a specific system will be working in a market or not. Okay, pilot projects are done in order to check whether a specific system will be working in a specified market or not. Okay, piloting, 8% of the funds are, you can say, allocated for piloting. Okay, then operations, IC and operations. Operations means any operations related to what, any scheme or any operations. Means operation means, remember, operation means not only creating any kind of system. Okay, means if you want to know any kind of scheme, or you want to what, you want to buy something, or you want to import, export, all these things, on all these things it has gone for 2% incentives, 4%, okay, on charging infrastructure. Okay, remember, it is still, you can say charging infrastructure is still less. Okay, demand in incentives for charging infrastructure is still very less. Okay, this is your from, this was from 2015 to 16, and this is from 2016 to 17. Okay, charger is same 4%. Charger is same 4%. Technology platform also decreased. Okay, but you can say demand incentives increased. Demand incentive increase in demand incentives is showing that a lot of electric vehicles have been manufactured. Technology platform means they are either under production. Pilot projects means they are still under production. Operations means also still under production. Okay, sorry, yes. But demand incentives, when the FAME is going for demand incentive, that means it is, means when it is increasing, when the demand incentive is increasing, that means it is showing that a lot of electric vehicles are being manufactured during the year 2016 to 17. Okay, FAME will be funding these things, that it will be funding for your charging infrastructure, it will be funding for your pilot projects, it will be funding for your demand incentives, it will be funding for your technological platform. Okay. See, these things are, these values are in crores. 40 crores, okay, 120 crores, 5 crore, 20 crore, 20 crore. Okay, these are in crores. 10 crore, 20 crore, 5 crore, 70 crore, and 155 crores. Total of, in first year, total of 260 crores. In second year, you can say 535 crores. So charging infrastructure. So after you can say government has gone for FAME India. Okay, so you can say all these things. FAME are for production. Remember, FAME are for so that you can efficiently produce your electric vehicles. Okay, but production will only you can say it will means producing a lot of electric vehicle will not sustain the market of India. Remember, producing a lot of electric vehicle will not sustain the market of India. Okay, so we need some other types of infrastructures so that we can sustain the electric market of India, and one of them is your charging infrastructure. Okay, one of them will be is your charging infrastructure. How the charging infrastructure should be, so that there will be, I can say, FAME can also means can also be can also run smoothly. See, if there is no charging infrastructure, producing a lot of electric vehicles will not be sustaining the infrastructure. It will be, you will be going for a lot of loss because there is no charging infrastructure. Okay, the customers that they will be buying from you, they will be suffering a lot because of this lack of charging infrastructure. Hence, in you can say in next demand time, they will not be buying any electric vehicle. Rather, they will be going for some other kind of vehicles, your ICE vehicles. To enable faster adoption of electric vehicles in India by ensuring safe, reliable, accessible, and affordable charging infrastructure and ecosystem. To promote, you can say, charging infrastructures, guidelines and standards. So we will be knowing how this will be implemented. First, let us study about guidelines. To promote affordable tariff chargeable from EV owners and charging station operators owners, to generate employment income opportunities for small entrepreneurs, to proactively support creation of EV charging infrastructure in the initial phase and eventually create market for EV charging, to encourage preparedness for zero vehicle FAME. This is a FAME one. Okay, this is your FAME one, electrical distribution system to adopt EV charging infrastructure. Okay, preparedness of electrical distribution system. Okay, preparedness of electrical distribution system. Okay, for FAME one to adopt EV charging infrastructure means how the grid should be set. How means where should be the electric distribution unit should be set so that the charging infrastructure can be properly installed. Okay, means if will be installing charging infrastructure in petrol pumps, okay, then there will be some clumsiness in petrol pumps. So you should be installing charging infrastructure in some other locations, like in your offices, in malls, in some you can say charging tunnels. Okay, you can create charging tunnels. All these things, they are the concepts of future. Some of them are in concept phase. Some of them are in, you can say, they have been converted to a reality. For the, you can say, for installing this infrastructure, you see, I am saying about preparedness of electrical distribution system so that electric charging infrastructures can be installed. I am talking about some of the infrastructures are in concept phase, and some of the infrastructures are, you can say, can directly be utilized or directly be installed. Public requirement infrastructure. Okay, that is your PCI, minimum requirement. This is the infrastructure. See, what we have talked about is we have talked about all the infrastructure needed for building or creating a EV. Okay, or you can say, but this is the charging infrastructure. See, charging infrastructure is just like setting your petrol pumps. Okay, if you will be only studying about how to create a EV, but you will not be knowing how to create or how to set up a petrol pump, then there is no benefit in those things. So you must be knowing how to go, you can say, how to meet the minimum requirement of public charging infrastructure. Okay. These are also government initiated. Okay, see, I'm not saying I have not bought all these things from somewhere. These are also government initiated. An exclusive transformer with all related substation equipments, including safety appliances, 33/11 kV lines with associated equipment, including as needed for line termination, metering, etc., appropriate civil works, adequate space for charging and entry and exit of vehicles. Current international standards that are prevalent and used by most vehicle manufacturers internationally are CSS and CH. You can say CH-ADMO. Hence, public charging stations shall have one or more electric board. Okay, electric kiosk and board with installation of all charger models as follows. This is how you can see your public charger infrastructure should work. So for fast charging, CSC manufacturing. CSC is a charger manufacturer. Okay, you can say for minimum 50 kilowatt vehicle. Okay, 50 kilowatt is the wattage of your vehicle, like your 100 bhp, 200 bhp. In the same way, your electric vehicles are rated like this: 50 kilowatt, 50 kilowatt is nearly your 100, sorry, not 100, nearly your 60, 70 bhp vehicles. Okay. 50 kilowatt is for 70, 60 to 70 bhp vehicles. You can say 90 or 80 kilowatt is for 110 bhp vehicles. Rated voltage should be nearly 200 to 1000. This is the battery pack voltage. Okay. Or you can say working voltage of your vehicle. Number of charging points of connectors. Okay. They are the charging points. One charging point. Then same, you can say these CCCS and CHADEMO, these are the manufacturers of your what? Chargers. Same minimum 50 kilowatt, 2025, 1G. You can say type 2. Type 2 is your type 2 and type 3. You can say these are type of chargers. One chargers need your ground and a lot of other connections, and one chargers you can say you can actually use in any kind of circuit. Okay, type 2 is a charger that can be used in any type of circuit. Then slow and moderate charging, Bharat DC, these are for 15 kilowatt. These are for your some small electric vehicles and for your, you can say, bikes and scooters. 72 to 200. 72 to 200 is for your bikes and scooters. Okay. And 230 is for bikes. Okay, 230 is for bikes only. Bharat SC 10 kilowatt, it is for bikes. Okay. This is how these are the chargers that are available now. Okay, and government is, you can say, using, or you can say providing this kind of chargers. And if you want to install a charging station, you will be following this, you can say, these ratings or these specifications. These specifications should always be allowed, or you can say should be allowed in a charging station, or mandatorily this should be present in charging stations. Okay. Then location of charging infrastructure. At least one charging station should be available in a grid. Okay, that is your 13 kilometer plus 3 kilometer. Further, one charging stations be set up at every 25 kilometers on both sides of highways and roads. Okay. For long EVs like long range SUVs and heavy duty EVs like buses, trucks, there should be at least one fast charging station with charging infrastructure specification. As standard EVs, 100, you can say for every 100 kilometers. Okay, you can see for bus, trucks, charging infrastructures as standard every 100 kilometers. For SUVs, nearly, we can say there should be a charging station within 100 kilometer of range. Okay, but for, you can say, should be available on grid, one charging station should be set up every 25 kilometers. This is for what? For small charging, or you can say for fast charging. These 25 kilometers can be set for fast charging. Okay, fast charging of small, you can small electric vehicles, bikes and scooters. Okay, 25 kilometers for small electric vehicles and bikes and scooters. For long range like your heavy SUVs and your bus and trucks, you can say chargers should be installed at every 100 kilometers. Okay, on the highways. Within cities, such as charging facilities for heavy duty APVs can be located within transportation nagars, bus depots. Moreover, swapping facilities are also not mandatory within cities for bus and truck. Swapping facility means swapping of batteries. Okay, are also not mandatory. They are not necessary. Okay, they can be done, but without, you can say, without swapping also they can run if this type of what infrastructures are used. 24, you can say for bus and truck, you can say if those are used inside cities, they will be using this 25 kilometer range charge. Okay, but those bus and truck, they are, you can say they're traveling, or you can say in between cities or in between states, for them 100 kilometers, you can say should be the charging range, or you can say charger station range. Then this is the business model. Okay, for charging infrastructure. This is the, you can say, business model for charging infrastructure. EV infrastructure, there are two ways: charging, battery swapping. See, these things for battery swapping is available for, remember, for commercial vehicles. If you'll be going for any SUV, or you can say your Bolero, if you have seen a Bolero or a pickup truck. Okay, if pickup trucks are using battery, then battery swapping method is the only viable option for them. Okay, remember, if pickup trucks are, means like your Tesla truck. Tesla truck is not a battery swapping method. It is not using any battery swapping method. But some of the we can say EV manufacturers, they are seeing this as a better option. That battery swapping method should be a better option, because if you want to go for a, you can say, for long distance travel, okay, battery swapping method is very good. Okay, but short distance travel, charging is very good. Onboard charging, offboard charging, AC charging spot, DC charger, you can say private car, public bus, then commercial vehicles. Remember, battery swapping for commercial vehicles, side swapping, public bus, sanitation vehicle. Okay, passenger cars. Passenger cars means You can say these are private cars. Okay, passenger cars are not private cars. Okay, these are private cars. Private cars means self-owned cars. Passenger car means your Ola and Uber. Okay, they can go for battery swap. Okay, because you can say Ola and in Ola and Uber, what is the main thing is the mileage is the most important for them. Okay, luxury may not be important for them, or drivability, handling may not be important, but mileage should be important for them. Hence, battery charging, battery swapping methods can be used for those. Rear swapping, bottom swapping. Rear swapping means rear battery installation, bottom swapping means bottom battery installation, private cars and taxis. So this should be your charging infrastructures. Both of them should be installed. Remember, only charging station will not be helping, only battery swapping will not be helping. Both of them should be there. Okay. After that, what we have? Yes, India's EV market post-COVID. Okay, so we'll be learning for India's EV market. So we'll be learning about what are the carriers also available. Okay. Auto sales could decrease by as much as 45% in the financial year 2020 to 2021. Yes, auto sales are decreasing. In the financial year 2020 to 2021, auto sales has decreased. So EV sales has also decreased. EV production could be affected in short term due to lower demand and supply chain distributions within BNEF estimating an 18% decrease in global EV sales in 2020. See, EV sales are dropping because of COVID. Remember, okay, but that doesn't mean that the infrastructures that are needed in order to sustain a EV, they are also, you can say, planning for them is also means is in delay. No, planning for them is not in delay. They are, you can say, already all the things are planned. Only just they are waiting for COVID. We can say when the COVID will be means when the COVID conditions are mild, okay, then these things can again be started, and they will be started with a boost. Remember, all these things will be started with a boost. So you should be present at those things. Okay, there will be a lot of jobs. There will be a lot of, you can say, other means needs. Okay, that is your manufacturing needs. Lot of opportunities will be created, and they will be means you will be seeing a boost market. Okay, a boom market. Okay, after COVID conditions, market will be booming. Okay, you can say the market will not be means working as it was working in post COVID. Okay, it will be, there will be a boom in the market. Then the EV market may experience other shifts. For example, there is an expectation of demand of more affordable EV products. Okay, more affordable EV products means generally your batteries. Your batteries in EVs are costing a lot. Okay, and also the power electronics. Motor is also costing a lot. If I'll be saying you, nearly 20 to 30% of the cost of a EV is battery. Then your you can say more transmission systems. Then your power electronics. Then body covering and all of the things. Okay. So more affordable EV products means less battery price. This potential shift in customer preferences may affect manufacturers. Low disposal incomes. See, just what I want to say in here. See, lithium is a rare metal. Okay, not means it is abundantly available. Lithium is as available as crude oil. Okay, and recycle of lithium is also very good. Okay, but in India there is you can say one or two industries are recycling lithium. So lithium recycle is also a potential industry. Okay, and lithium mining is very costly. Lithium mining is very costly. And lithium recycle, you can recycling industry is also a very good industry. Your carbon recycling industry, in order to prepare graphene, is also a good industry. Hence, you can say a lot of industries are working for bio battery. Okay, bio battery from algae. Okay, bio battery from algae. They are creating battery from algae. Okay, algae means, and they have nearly charge density as good as lithium battery. You can say grade 3 lithium battery, not grade 1 lithium battery. Okay, that your Samsung is using. Okay, but your grade 3. That means you can say they means those bio batteries can be used in your these days what your electric scooters and your electric bikes. The value chain of EV in India is expected to reach a whopping of $4.8 billion. Okay, after COVID. Okay, this is whopping up after COVID. Okay, this is not pre-COVID. This is post-COVID. The government is likely to introduce a fiscal fill-up towards the fill-up. Okay, fiscal fill-up towards the EV sectors, which will boost the idea that a clean, renewable, energy-based mobility is the future. Okay, government is likely to introduce a fiscal fill-up towards the EV sectors, which will boost that the idea that a clean, renewable, energy-based mobility is the future. Okay. After that, what are the carriers? See, we have seen what we have seen India's market pre-post. We have seen how India's infrastructure is helping in adoption of faster adoption of EV technologies. How India's infrastructure is helping in, you can say, locating all the chargers, or you can say charging stations, or creating charging stations. All these things that India, you can say, there means they need what they need people to do. See, all these things cannot be done by what? Cannot be done by your computers. We need people, or you can say India needs people to do all these things. Hence, a lot of career opportunity comes out. Okay. Hence, a lot of career opportunity comes out. In line with the growing adoption of electric vehicle, India is expected to have 30% of the vehicles on its road to be electric or hybrid by 2030. Currently, India has about 23 crores vehicle. One third of the vehicle of by 2020 could amount about 10 crore vehicles. Okay. According to the estimate of Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, the EV industries alone will create 1 crore jobs by 2030. Okay, 1 crore job by 2030. For every direct job, there likely be 5 indirect jobs in the society. Remember, for every likely job, there will be 5 indirect jobs in the society. This takes the number of total employment by EV industries to about 5 crores. Okay, means see, if you are working in production, then raw material, then your transportation, all these industries are also they will be needing what? Your jobs. So direct jobs will be creating 5 indirect jobs, thereby creating 5 crore jobs. Okay. Then job fields. What are the job fields? Means what are the fields in which you can say the electric vehicle will be needing? We can say you can place yourself in electric vehicle. We can say for scientific research to improve the performance of electric vehicles, especially by improving battery, recharge technology, and materials, all tech battery. You can say all tech branches, means mechanical, your electric, you can say electrical, chemical, physics, mathematics. Okay, all these things can go for scientific research. Okay, in EV. Okay, then design and development. In design and development, to design, test, and integrate components such as engines, batteries, engines for hybrid electric vehicles. Okay, see, engines in here is written for hybrid electric vehicles, batteries, generators, and electric motors. So, who can do? Chemical engineers, electrical engineers, electronic engineers, industrial engineers, mechanical technicians, material engineers, software developer, commercial and industrial engineers for design and development. Okay. Manufacturing. Okay, manufacturing. See, in all these things, your manufacturing and maintenance, okay, industry will be taking most amount of we can say means they will be providing most you can say lot of opportunities. Design and development opportunities are also there. Okay, but manufacturing and maintenance will be taking most of the opportunities. Why? Because for manufacturing and for maintenance you need a large infrastructure. Okay, you need a very large infrastructure. So manufacturing, to manage specialized manufacturing process, including the machine tool operation and assembly, people in demand, chemical and you can say people in demand, chemical engineers, electrical engineers, electronics engineers, industrial engineers, mechanical technicians, same thing. Design development and manufacturing. Some you can say industrial products managers are required, industrial designers are required, machinists are required, and all these things are required for manufacturing industry. Then maintenance. In maintenance, we need mechanics and technicians. A lot of mechanics and technicians are needed to go for maintenance, to repair electric vehicles and to install electric vehicle components. The maintenance market is a very big market in electric vehicles. Then infrastructure, to set up and maintain the charging station. See, in order to install the infrastructure, also you'll be needing guys, or you'll be needing what companies to do all these things, and that also creates demand. Okay, like when you'll be building a when you will be creating a building. Okay, let's say uh, what your Reliance is creating a building. Okay, then building for building, you means other contractors, all your real estate people. Okay, they go for what? They means they employ a lot of individuals for those things. And also infrastructures also will be providing some jobs, fields, and get some still providing some jobs. Set up and maintain charging station, lay power lines, and establishing grid connectivity. People in demand, power lines installers and repairs and electricians. Okay, these are the people in demand. So what should you learn? Okay, what should you learn to get into all these things? Okay, and get prepared. So you will be needing EV at system level. You have to learn EV at system level. You have to learn EV at subsystem level. You have to choose a specialization you like or need at industry. Means either you want to go for designing, either you want to go for manufacturing, or you want to go for some other industries. Choose a specialize. Get right guidance from industry experts. Okay. Carry out projects, simulation or hardware. Build a simple solution. Use or be aware of tools used in the industry. Okay, this is the most important. Okay, be aware of the tools used in the industry. Get internship and get mentors. Okay, these things, if you will be availing these things, you can better place yourself in EV industries. Okay, so what are the industries that are generally, sorry. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, are you audible, sir?
There's a problem in internet connectivity. Okay. So you can see this is a means stock means what are the, you can say in electric vehicles here you can say market means so which of the industries have the highest amount of stock. Okay, so they will be creating a lot of opportunity. So your Hindalco, Hindustan Copper for motor technologies, graphite for you can say for your same motor technologies, and what and your battery production, Tata Chemicals battery production, Ashok Leyland powertrain development, Tata Motors both powertrain and vehicle development, Greaves Cotton electronics development. Okay, then Amaraja batteries, same for you can say battery development, Hero MotoCorp for complete vehicle development, Excite Industries battery development, Maruti Suzuki's you can say powertrain and complete vehicle development, Mahindra and Mahindra complete vehicle development. These are some of the stocks. Means if you will be going for which are the industries that are in the top of electric market, so these are the industries that are at the top of electric market. So this is I will be ending means this is the end of the webinar. So in this webinar, what we have discussed, we have learned about different types of startups, how electric startups are. You can say what are the electric startups in India. Okay. Now for those startups, what are the government schemes and funds available? Okay. See, those startups have used all these government schemes and funds. Okay. Okay, and you can say when these startups are using these government skills and you can say schemes and funds, they are creating what? They are creating the infrastructure for your EV. Okay, they are creating the infrastructure for your EV. See, this Ether Motors, now it is a startup, but after 2 to 3 years, it will be recruiting a lot of individuals. So they are creating the infrastructure. So first we have learned about the startups, then we have seen how the startups are utilizing the infrastructures to grow. Then we have seen what these infrastructures, okay, what are the jobs that will be available after developing, or you can say after the development of this or during the development of these infrastructures. Okay, so we have seen all these things. So at last you have to learn, and you can say you can take a snap of these things, or these things will be provided to you by Skyrater. If you had system level, if you had subsystem level, if you have to choose a specialization, remember, if you want to create a startup, then you have to need some other tools. But if you want to get a job, then you have to go for these things. Okay, if you at system level, if you at subsystem level, and all these things. If you want to be a startup, then you have to use the schemes of the government, and you have to go for some funding. Okay, you have to learn all these things. See, as a startup, you have to learn all these things. With means along with that, you should be knowing all the governments. Okay. Okay. So now, if you have any questions, you can ask. So in here, I'll be ending.
Elaborate EV at subsystem level and system level.
See, EV at system level means your battery pack. Okay, your battery pack, your motor. Okay, then your what? Then your controller or power electronics. Then your what? Your chassis. Your then chassis and what? And your air conditioning. All these are system level. Subsystem level means battery pack. If you're going for subsystem level, BMS. Okay. Then your battery cell. Then BTMS. Okay, in motor you have to go for your stator, rotor, okay, and your windings. In controller you have to go for different types of harmonics, all the electronic components that are there in your controllers. Chassis in subsystem level, you have to go for frames. Okay, front pillar, B pillar. Okay, then rear pillars. All these things. System level means the thing that you are seeing. Subsystem means the thing that are inside the system. Okay, got it? Hello, who has asked this question? Okay, so quickly ask the question.
Sir, if I want to have a career in the design sector, so on which software should I focus for getting this sector in the electronic vehicle sector?
See, CAD software, any CAD software. Okay, you will from CAD softwares, your FEM softwares, finite element like your ANSYS, CAD softwares like your CATIA, SolidWorks. Okay, then you will be needing software, some of the software. So, okay, so see, I'll be answering some of the question, but now Mr. Himanshu will be taking on the session. Okay, after that, if time permits, I'll be answering some of the questions. Thank you. Hello, Himanshu.
Yes, Mr. Dipesh. Well, so thank you very much, Mr. Dipesh. Thank you for this wonderful session. Good evening, guys. This is Himanshu from Skyradar. I'll be your co-host with Mr. Siddhant. So I'll be taking for the session. So I'll just brief you about this second session. So I'll be telling you about the scopes of EVs. Already, I'm sure Dipesh has told you a lot of things, but to brief them. Secondly, I'll be telling how to get certificate of this session. So that we a lot of many students are asking us. We are getting a lot of text in our WhatsApp that people are asking how to get a certificate. I'll be telling that. Thirdly, I can tell if you have any query regarding your career, like if you want to pursue some particular field, so we can help you with some courses. Okay. So guys, as Mr. Dipesh has told you, there are a lot of startups who has raised fund in electric vehicle domain, and a lot of many startups, like he has taken just probably 5% of startup name, but there are other 95% startup who have already raised their fund, and they are doing real great things. I mean, they are hiring hundreds of engineers. The new companies like Chinese companies, Korean companies, they are entering to Indian EV field, and by another couple of years, this EV industry will take a complete exponential growth, where there will be millions of job requirement will open. There was a statistic by Harvard Business Review that told by 2025 there will be at least 1 million of people will be getting jobs. 1 million of people will be getting jobs by 2025 in electric vehicle domain only. So can you imagine, like Dipesh told rightly, by 2040 there won't be any decrease of. Guys, can you please mute yourself so it will be easier for us to go ahead. So by 2040, there won't be any declination of your fuels, your normal vehicles, ICE engine vehicles. However, there will be again the entering of the electric vehicle. So the scope for automotive engineers and people who are skilled in automotive and electric vehicle, the scope will be increasing. There won't be any downside to that. But after 2030, probably the numbers of jobs increasing, or maybe 25, the jobs increasing EVs will be more than the jobs getting generated in the normal vehicle field, normal automotive field. So it's a right time for every one of us to become skilled in electric vehicle, because this is the field. If you talk about a few years back, when the revolution of automotive revolution was happening in India, that time probably someone would tell you, go and do some automotive courses, and that will give you a job. The 90s, 90s, some beginning of 90s, there were lakhs of engineers. They used to get jobs in automotive field because there were people who used to hire them like mad, and after that this field became saturated and the jobs started declining. Same thing is happening for electric vehicle right now, guys. This is a complete evolution of an era, completely a different era that is going to happen. So if you are skilled in electric vehicle, then you are saving a job for you. That's not electric vehicle, in automotive sectors as well. So this is something you need to focus. So guys, so many students are our old students, have seen our courses, have done our courses, and many of you are new to Skyradar. So